Good evening, everyone. We'll call this regular council meeting of August 14th to order. First of all, could I have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Hoffert, seconded by Councillor Frank. How's that? Not bad. It's been a month.
Good job.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, next, could I have a motion, please, for the minutes of the council meeting held on July 17th, 2017? Councillor Nibs, seconded by Councillor Yanish. Any questions or comments on the minutes? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under original, communications, delegations, and petitions. We have with us tonight Danielle Evenson and Leonard Gruby from the Royal Canadian Legion, number 6. And they have a request for us this evening. Please go ahead, Leonard. First of all, though, are you familiar with all of the council members? You and Danielle?
Travis, I don't believe I've met, but I think everyone else.
Okay. Yeah, Travis is a new kid on the block, and he's also just got married, so a lot of stuff has been happening in his short life. Anyway, please go ahead, Leonard. I digress.
Well, we would like to thank council for giving us this opportunity to make this presentation to you. We're here tonight to request funding from the city. We have made a public plea to our membership in the last month or so. We held a general meeting of the membership, and now we're looking for broader support from the community. What has happened, you all received a communique with some of our financial information, and we're fairly new to the committee, to the
Executive.
The executive, and we were elected in December at the meeting, and we took over in January. And myself as treasurer, we had never had a treasurer for many years in our Legion, and the executive was very unhappy with the information we were getting financially. The reports were not complete, and so when I started getting into the computer and finding discrepancies that were just disastrous in reality, we found out that we were giving money to the community whenever we were requested for help with anything. We always gave, and yet in reality, we didn't have any money to be giving. So we had checks bouncing, and we got into desperate straits. And so we looked at what we could do. We started a Ways and Means Committee, which Danielle is the chair of, and we've been working hard in the last 6 months to try and solve our problems. And basically, we have done a lot, but it's not enough. We are able to meet our monthly bills, and what we can't do, we just can't seem to get the money to pay the older debts, which are quite large, some of them. Our buildings are getting older, and we've had a lot of repairs and maintenance which have come up that there's nothing we can do about it. It is the way it is. Anybody that has property knows that when something happens to your property, you have no choice but to fix it. And so we have some large bills which we haven't been able to meet. And so we're asking the council basically for some help. And it can be in different forms. It can be cash help if you can, to whatever extent you are able to, or in terms of a interest-free loan that we could repay over time.
With a defined period.
We have done a lot of things to cut our costs. We've laid off staff. We've cut hours where hours that were being used that weren't being profitable. We have volunteers in our office now, so we don't have anyone paid in our office anymore. One of the biggest things that our past executives, they would hire a general manager for the Legion and expect them to not only manage the Legion, but to do the books. And these people weren't bookkeepers. And one of the biggest things that I found going through them is that the general sales every day were being posted as invoices, meaning they were showing up as an account, as a receivable in the books. So in actuality, it looked like we had a lot more than we did have because the cash was going into the bank and there was a receivable. Well, in reality, there was no receivable. And that's just because of the lack of knowledge with the people that were in the office. And so we always, like I say, we thought we had the money and we were giving it away and couldn't. So that's our situation. If there's any questions that you would like to ask us, we will do our best to answer them.
Okay, well, thank you, Leonard. Go ahead, Councillor Nibs, please.
So I know you guys have the bar, but what is your main thing for fundraising that you guys do?
Our hall rentals and our bar.
Right.
That's, but the bar, with the downturn in the economy for everybody in town, has not been good lately. Mm-hmm. We have been having a number of events that we've been staging. These meals with entertainment, they went over well, but you can't do them too often because it'll just flop, eh? Mm-hmm. But those went over well. We now have a truck which we're raffling off. That's going to be a good fundraiser for us, we're hoping. You never know for sure, but that's why we're doing it. But that doesn't come up until in December is when the draw is, eh? So, and with liquor and gaming, you can't use any funds until it's complete. Mm-hmm. What else?
We do provide.
Yeah, the bingo is another fundraiser. It's actually been our mainstay for many years, but the last year or so, it at times isn't even making any money.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Nibs. Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Worship. Leonard, reading your letter and noticing that you are going from month to month, But at the rate you're going, how long do you think it would take you to clean this debt off on your own?
Well, we're really not sure. We're hoping by the end of the year.
Oh, that's pretty good.
We've actually cleaned up, like our books were in such disarray. There hadn't been a government payment for over a year. And that's one of the first things that we did clean up. Because,
Penalties are high.
yeah, it's not the ones you want to be behind on, that's for sure.
Have you reviewed your rental rates? Because I think you've always been very fair and probably on the low end of rental rate. Have you reviewed that?
Yeah, we've made some increases in all of our pricings in the last six months, I think, about that we made some increases, eh? So far, we haven't had any complaints on any of it. I think we're a lot more in line with what the standards are. We may still be a little under, but that's what you need to be to get the business, eh?
Sometimes you got to catch up, that's for sure. Well, thank you for coming out, the two of you. I mean, this is information that we need to know before we can make any kind of a decision as a group, I think. But kudos to you for coming out and sharing your problems and see what happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Councillor Vroba?
Thank you, Your Worship. I was just wondering, for membership, what is your current membership level at right now?
We're just over 300 members.
What has been your highest membership? Like, is that a normal membership or?
No, we were 5-something at one time.
Yeah, I was just wondering, have you thought about doing a membership drive of basically promoting that people come out and buy a membership and join the Legion?
Membership requirements have become easier. The requirement to be linked to a family who's a veteran and that sort of stuff has been kind of dropped. There's still an associate and affiliate type membership, and so we have taken brochures out and about when we've taken our truck raffle out in public, and we're working on a campaign to make that awareness. One of the things that we did for our July 11th public meeting was we sent a letter to all our members, basically telling them who our Legion is in Estevan, what are the things that we provide as products and services in the community, our hours of service, how to contact us if they have any questions, and a plea as well for the same information. So we're hoping that by word of mouth through our members first, and then ultimately into the community, that we can raise that awareness. And we're fortunate things like the Soldier Tree Project that happened last year. We're hosting the provincial convention of all Saskatchewan Legions in October this year. So we have people from other legions coming to us to congregate in our facilities. From Provincial Command's perspective, they say we have more buildings than most legions. And so that's certainly something that is on the table as far as, okay, if we used to have over 500 members, today we have only 300. What can we afford to do in our town? But until we get through finding out our situation and getting ourselves back in the black, that's the next conversation we're going to steer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Vroba. Yes, the Legion has been a mainstay of our city for many, many years, and how many good meals have been given at the Legion, and they've donated over the years for many, many good causes. So probably in essence what you're asking for tonight for council to give some thought to is to pay that debt. You're paying 20% and then you guys pay it back, right? Over time without the 20%.
That would certainly be a huge help.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably would be the best, but again, we'll have to give that some thought at the council level. I don't expect you expect a decision tonight.
No.
Okay. Okay, any other questions from council? Go ahead. Councilor
Your
Moore.
Worship, again to Leonard. So what are your membership fees, what's it cost you to belong?
$50 a year, and $42.50, I believe it is, goes to command.
And how long has that been at $50?
We just raised it this year.
I'll share with you, we, the Rotary, are at, we were at 100, we're at 150, and I think right now we're at 200.
200.
And we have to, because I don't know about the Legion, but this is, we're talking US funds, and by the time you're going backwards if you don't keep up at least with the difference in the exchange. So maybe there's another, you got 300 members, which is really good compared to the rest of us. So I think the membership should review what's going on and get it up to where you don't maybe be 150 or 200, but 50 is just too reasonable in today's dollars, so
Yeah.
in my guesstimation.
We certainly have discussed it, and we've had so many negative reviews on it, by the membership. Like, probably, well, it might only be 50% now of the older people, and I shouldn't be talking because I'm one of them, but they really don't want the fees increased, and I don't know. To me, you're totally right. I mean, they should be much higher. There's no reason why we should be making $7.50
Yeah,
keeping here in the Legion,
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I think they have to bite the bullet and do it, it has to be done. And if you lose some membership, that's just the way it goes. I mean,
Yeah.
in today's world, you're either going to do it or you won't exist. It's just the way it is. So thank you for the information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Moore. Thank you both for coming, Danielle and Leonard, and enlightening us on your situation, and we'll definitely be getting back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. You're welcome to stay for the rest of council, but you probably have other fundraisers on your mind today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Okay, next, under original communications. So what's the wish of council on this item? Did you want to give it some thought, Councillor Moore?
Thank you, Worship. You know, I think they certainly deserve some help because of who they are and what they've done. I wouldn't be willing to hand them cash, but I would be willing to sign a loan. And that's why I was trying to figure out how long do they think they would need this money. And we could co-sign something like we did for not a whole lot of people, but we've done it before. And we're not talking mega bucks here. It'll make City Hall look good. And it's probably something that I think most of the people in this area would think would be a good move. But that would be my, if it was a personal thing, that's what I would do. I wouldn't give them cash, but I would sign a note. And that way it would force them to raise their money and get this debt paid off by, be it 2 years or be it 30 months. But I think it'd be a good way to go.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Moore. Go ahead,
Just
Councillor
quickly
Frank.
questioning, do they pay a property tax on any of that?
No,
property?
we forgive that.
Okay. that's-
We've already forgiven that. Go ahead, Councillor Nibbs.
I like what Dennis is saying as well, but I do think that they have some internal things that have to be fixed before I feel comfortable, like the membership fees and those different things, to make sure that they can pay it back. But right now, from looking over what they've given us, I'm not sure that if they don't make some serious changes, and do have a roof cave in or something else, that they just won't be able to carry on.
Yeah.
So that'd be the only thing I'd want to make sure that they are stable enough to do that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Nibbs. Councillor Vrobel.
Thank you, Your Worship. I wouldn't be opposed to helping them either with some type of a loan, but I also agree with Councillor Nibbs that they seem to have some internal issues. I was doing some figuring. That's $53 per member is what it would take to clear off that debt. If every member they have right now was to give Legion $53.33, their debt would be cleared. So, I mean, maybe there is some way we can help them, but I would have to say that we'd have to also need some clear-cut way of that they're going to have to bring extra funds in to be able to pay the money back.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Vrobel.
I'd
Councillor
agree as
Frank.
well, and I'm just thinking, can we just make a motion, or can I make the motion that we defer this to a meeting that we maybe meet meet with their executive committee and just try to come up with some of these terms and
Sure,
make
in
an
fact,
agreement.
perhaps we could have our people, and by that I mean city manager and Trudy, who are well versed in the financial aspect, have a look at their books, and then, that would give us a better idea what we're looking at financially. Would that be possible? I know I just got a look from the city manager, but, I mean, he is a CA and he is very experienced. He could look at them books probably, 2 minutes or so? Anyway, I just tossed that out there, but maybe after that look, I'll reconsider his city manager.
I think I'd like to work with them as well, and I think the best way we can
Okay.
do that is to, whether it's all of us or just the poor
Sure.
city manager, if we're going to throw him
But-
under the bus.
but-
But I'd like
but
to make
sit
the
down
motion
and
that
work with them.
we
Okay.
move to a meeting with them. So.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Frank. Have we got a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Yanish. Any further discussion? All in favor? Carried. I'm sure Jeff will be talking to me after. Okay, moving forward, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have from the Army Cadet League of Canada, we have Cadet Bailey D. Kennard, which we wish all the best. He's a resident of our community. He was chosen to take part in the Army Cadet Maple Leaf Exchange, which is currently underway. This young individual is one of 60 Army cadets chosen from 18,000 plus Army cadets across Canada to take part in this advanced training course. This will give the cadet the opportunity to travel to the United Kingdom. During the tour, the cadets will spend time with some battalions of the Army Cadet Force and/or the Combined Cadet Force and taking part in their annual summer activities. So this will include visits to various English historical and cultural sites and a visit to Vimy Ridge and Beaumont Hamel in France. Known as one of the elite advanced training courses of the Army Cadet Program, this is a unique and exciting experience, and it is the culmination of many years of dedication, participation, and training in both your community and attendance at their corps and the cadet training centers. As a proud supporter of the Army Cadet Program, the Army Cadet League of Canada is proud to make you aware of this cadet's accomplishments. With this letter, our intent is to ask that you recognize the efforts and dedication of this young individual from your community by sending this cadet a certificate of recognition, and of course we'd be happy to do that. And the success of any cadet corps is directly influenced by the local support it receives, and you can be justifiably proud of the accomplishments of this exceptional young citizen. So I don't think it's an issue for council to have me prepare the certificate. City Clerk and I can do that. And basically the Royal Canadian Army Cadets, their federally sponsored program for young Canadians ages 12 to 18 that develop in youth the attributes of leadership, good citizenship, and physical fitness, while stimulating interest in the Canadian Armed Forces. So what's the wish of council on this matter? Councillor Roba?
I'll make a motion. Thank you, Your Worship. I would like to make a motion that we send that certificate.
Okay, thank you very much. Have we got a seconder? Okay, Councillor Nibs. Any further questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. Next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have the Region's CART report for July 2017. Any questions or comments on that? If not, could we have a motion to accept the report as presented? Councillor Yanish, seconded by Councillor Moore. Any further questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have the Southeast Transportation Planning Committee minutes of July 25th, 2017. Could we have a motion to accept these, and then I'll ask Councillor Moore if he has anything to add. Councillor Vroba, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Nibs, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Councillor Moore, anything to add?
Thank you, Worship. We will be going to our next meeting out of town in Werman, and that will include all of the divisions. And our two priorities for this area There's going to be number 8 highway south of Redbirds that it really needs to be cleaned up, and 47 north to Grenfell. We are really putting the push on that to get that road so that it's back to not only its original shape, but in a better standard for higher and heavier loads. So that's our 2 that we're taking to the province. The other one that is concerning is 47 south. Lately, there's been quite a few complaints. It's been suggested that that particular road should only be 70 or 80 kilometers because of the difference in levels, and it's almost dangerous for people that don't really travel it a lot. So, but we can only take 2 to the board, and that's the 2 we want to take, and we'll follow up with the rest. There's some work being done on 18 that we're happy about, as long as it continues. If it takes 5 years to do the complete 18, that's okay, but we got to start somewhere, and I guess we're starting. Number 9 past the lakes. They've done a pretty good job of recapping that. If anybody's been on it, that's a big difference. Again, it's going to be done in piecemeal, but at least we're getting something when the budget has been cut quite a bit. So to date, we're pretty happy with what's happening in this part of the province. There will always be some concerns, but at least I think we're getting our share of the funds that's being distributed. So,
Okay, thank you very much for that,
yeah,
Councillor Moore, and of course we also appreciate the double laning from Beanfate to Estevan. That'll be done this fall, and that'll be fantastic when that's done. And I know that's generated a lot of buzz back and forth as far as the passing lanes versus double laning all the way to Regina, but I guess, again, that's depending on financials.
Well, it appears that we're always starting over. We deal with one chap for a while, and then we deal with another chap. And
yeah, unfortunately, we had the commitment of the Premier, but now, of course, the province has fallen on hard times. So.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Moore. Any other questions on that? Okay, thank you. Moving on, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have from the Estevan Exhibition Association Community Events Permit for CCA Rodeo. Would you please add to the agenda a request to approve a community events permit to the Estevan Exhibition Association for the CCA Rodeo Beer Gardens? Will be held in the beer gardens on the Estevan Exhibition grounds on Friday, September 1st, 2 p.m. to 2 a.m., Saturday, September 2nd, 2017, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday, September 3rd, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you, from Brenda Monti. So what's the wish of council on that? Councillor Hoffer?
I would make a motion to approve, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Vroba? Any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Under written reports of committees, we have none this evening. Under executive reports, we have from HR, the update to the cellular phone policy. So you've all had time to look that over. Any questions of our team on that? I think it looks great. Do we need, City Clerk, a motion to approve? Okay, could we please have that? Thank you, Councillor Nibbs. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Yanish, any further questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next from Land Development, we have the building permit report for July 2017. Could we have a motion to accept this, please? Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Nibbs. Any comment, questions? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, from Land Development as well, the RFP on the commercial land tender, LDR 15-2017. And what's the wish of council? We have Adam here this evening to answer any questions. This is what we put the RFP out, and we've got the couple of offers. One from Mac McDonald representing Remax, 7% plus applicable taxes upon a successful sale. The other one from Peyton Hogan of Cushman and Wakefield out of Regina, in conjunction with Jamie Dyer representing Royal LePage, and that is 5% plus applicable taxes upon a successful sale. Go ahead, Councillor Nibbs.
I don't think who it matters who we list with or what we do if we don't have the pricing correct. If we're not going to look at repricing the lots, we've had them for sale with everyone with no success of selling them. So I really think we still need to relist them with a new price and then go from there.
Okay, so perhaps if we could maybe go ahead with the recommendation this evening, and then we can have discussion as a council, if that's the wish of council, to lower. Councillor Hoffer?
Your worship, we had asked recently again for a report, or we had talked about lowering the prices or to some appropriate level, because many of them have been for sale 10 years, 12 years, 15, I'm not sure how long they've been in existence with little movement. And I think when we last requested we do something with the price, we were going to get a report to show how this compared to other jurisdictions.
Okay, well, I tell you what.
And so what I'd like to maybe have is that before we move ahead.
Okay, well, I think we should still go ahead with the recommendation. This is the seller that we're looking at this evening, and we've got a recommendation on that. But as far as reducing the principal price, we could get a memo from Adam, our land development officer. He can do the comparisons within the province and then get a memo back to us, which would lead to discussion on lowering the actual price.
Can I ask, has that work started? The reviewing the prices?
No, it has not yet.
Okay. When do you, I know everyone's busy, when do you think we could reasonably expect that?
I could probably start next month. Yeah, I say I'd start next month. Definitely what I would like is if we make a motion tonight, that way I could at least work with whoever the council approves, so they may be able to provide more insight of what the market is actually like right now.
Exactly.
And can I ask, Your Worship, sorry, the local realtors were all aware of this process and
Yes.
everyone had opportunity?
This was in the paper, Councillor Hofford. It was request for proposals.
Okay.
It was publicly
Thank you.
advertised. Just wait, Councillor Moore, you had your hand up initially. Did you still have a question?
Thank you, Worship. I guess what I find a little strange about the whole process is that, so we give it to the people from Regina, but yet we're going to have the same people in Estevan look after it. And I'm thinking, why couldn't we looked after it ourselves before? What do we need Regina involved for then?
Well, this is what we got for an RFP, that we put out. So of the two that we got, that is a recommendation, the best of the both, which would end up with a local individual
Yeah, it
involved.
just seems like
The other one does not have a local individual involved.
it's too bad. I thought we probably could handle it ourselves, but apparently we can't, so.
Well, part of the problem on that, Councillor Moore, is we tried for many, many years on our own without real estate help, and we didn't sell, well, hardly any. And I know it's been slow lately, and I think that's why Councillor Nibbs is suggesting that we lower the pricing, because they're simply not moving.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Vroba?
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to make the motion that we do proceed with this because of the fact that the land development, or Cushman and Wakefield Regina, is actually teamed up with an Estevan
local,
realtor.
right. Thank you.
And that is the only local realtor that put a proposal forward, right?
That's right.
So I'd like to make that recommendation that we go ahead.
You'll make that motion. Thank
Yeah.
you. Seconded by Councillor Nibbs. Thank you. Any further questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. And now could I have a motion perhaps from Councillor Hoffert that we'll ask our land development officer in conjunction now with the individual that we've already agreed to check the prices and come back with a recommendation?
Yep, no, I
as to
think
how
we-
much we should lower?
Absolutely, we can have a resolution if that's what it requires. I think we have already
Okay.
asked or requested that, so let's
Okay.
move forward, please.
Okay, thank you. And have we got a seconder? Okay, Councillor Frank, thank you. Further questions? None? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, next, under introduction of bylaws, we have none this evening. Next, under public hearings and reports, I will open the floor.
Your Worship, I'd like to declare a conflict of interest.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Yanish. Let it be noted, Councillor Yanish has left council chambers. City Clerk, please. Okay, so we will open this public hearing of proposed zoning amendments bylaw 2017 1989. And Clem and Diane Wenham had some concerns. I do not see them present here this evening. We were hoping that perhaps they would come. We've got Adam here to answer any of their questions. But since they're not here, I will, thank you, City Clerk. I'll ask, is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on this particular matter this evening? Hearing none, I'll ask again, is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on this particular matter? Second call. Now, seeing that no one is coming forward, we will note in the minutes. Anything else you need, City Clerk? So I guess you'll just write that the mayor ascertained there was no one present in the gallery who wished to address council on this matter.
Correct, but you might want Adam to discuss this letter.
Okay. Adam, would you like to, since you're here, and we appreciate you coming this evening? We did have some questions that were sent by mail. I think you've had the opportunity to go over them. These were the questions and concerns by Clem and Diane Wenham. What type of sewer system will be allowed and where will it be placed on the property?
Okay, maybe just to answer this letter more in general, the series of questions that they submitted would be more applicable to the actual development permit stage. Right now, the Faith Lutheran Church is just looking to get the approval for the type of use of the property. They haven't hired an engineer yet or any contractors. Basically, this is the first hurdle for them.
They want to get it rezoned.
Yeah, because pretty much if it's not rezoned, they can't move forward.
Right.
So they were waiting for the approval before they start hiring contractors and engineers. So most of the concerns with the servicing the setbacks, those will be answered once they start planning for the piece of property in question. And all of the concerns on here are valid and they will need to submit that as part of a permit before they can break ground.
Okay, very good. Thank you. But first of all, we have to get this rezoned and then the rest will follow.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from members of council? Okay, thank you very much, Adam. So we'll move on then to the proclamation and we'll come back to this bylaw here fairly quickly.
I'll go get that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Trudy.
He'll have to stay out.
Well, he can either stay out, I guess he can come back for the proclamation and then probably leave again. Thank you, Lyle. You won't be, or Councillor Yanis, you won't be staying too long, but you'll get to hear this lovely proclamation.
Okay.
Could I have a motion, please, for this Lions Club proclamation for their 60th anniversary? Councillor Hoffert, seconded by Councillor Moore. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Estevan Lions Club, Lions Day, 60th anniversary. Whereas the Estevan Lions Club was established in 1957 and is composed of men and women volunteers who dedicate their time to the betterment of our community and aiding those in need. And whereas the Estevan Lions Club is a member of Lions Clubs International, the world's largest service club organization, with 1.35 million members in 46,000 clubs in over 200 countries and geographical areas. Be it therefore resolved, I, Roy Ludwig, Mayor of the City of Estevan, in recognition of the Estevan Lions Club's 60th anniversary and of the important contributions of club members, past and present, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 29th, 2017, Lions Day in Estevan, and urge all of our residents to recognize this day. So thank you for that. Moving forward, we've got motions from committee. We've got from the Exhibition Association Rodeo sponsorship and EBEX. We've asked for contributions from both these. We'll start with the Estevan Exhibition. Do we have a motion on the floor for these people? Go ahead, Councillor Groba.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would like to make a motion that we donate $750 to the Estevan Exhibition Association for the rodeo.
Okay, thank you very much. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Yanish, thank you very much. Any further questions or comments from council? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, from motions from committee, we've got the EBEX sponsorship. What's the wish of council on this? We've got Jackie here to answer any questions. Councillor Yanish?
I'd like to make a motion that we donate $750 to the EBEX Awards also.
Okay, thank you. Have we got a seconder? Councillor Nibs, thank you. Any further questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under consideration of bylaws. Here we go, Councillor Yanish. Sorry. Okay, thank you. So now let it be noted, Councillor Yanish has left council chambers. So bylaw 2017-1989, amending zoning for 982 Highway 47 North. Second reading, please. Councillor Hoffert, seconded by Councillor Frank. Any further questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Next, for third reading for bylaw 2017-1989, amending zoning for 982 Highway 47 North. Third reading, and then for adoption for use. Could I have a motion for this, please? Councillor Moore, seconded by Councillor Nibs. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah, I did actually. I was just curious.
Well, that was after second was questions, but go ahead.
I didn't hear you say questions. I must not have been listening close enough, Your Worship. I apologize. I was just curious, was there any, other than the Wenham's letter, was there anyone else who responded to the advertising or?
No, there wasn't, Councillor Hopper.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Okay, next, under inquiries, Councillor Hopper.
I have nothing this evening, Your Worship.
Now that air show is coming up, what, September 20, or what date is that?
September 17th, and we're meeting tomorrow night, so there'll be details coming out very soon on that.
Okay, good, because I don't know if you were aware, but there's another, and I guess I wouldn't call it a situation building, it'll be a great thing, but the sculptor that did the Soldier's Tree, and I'm not even sure of the date, but it was in the Second World War when we had that flying center where the Estevan Airport used to be. We had a plane with 23 pilots crash and killed all 23 pilots.
Well aware of that.
Yeah.
We are aware of that, yes.
Okay, good. Well, they want to have a commemoration, and I understand the RM was going to have a plaque. Well, this sculptor is in the process of sculpting like a DC-3, I'm not sure what that plane was, and every face of those 21 pilots will be sculpted on the side of that. Now, this has kind of come up fairly quickly. There's not a corporal, what's a colonel or a major involved out of Moose Jaw West Wing that is kind of behind this. So now that he's involved, it's moving very quickly. So we may even, and we'll find out for sure, Councillor Hoffert, be able to have it for the 17th. I know they want to have a flyover, so maybe we could have this exhibit at the airport for that day, and then maybe tie that all in.
That sounds very interesting, Your Worship. I know the RM is interested in doing that. Doug Blue from the RM of Estevan is on our air show and airport committee and has brought this up several times. So they would be most interested in doing something in that regard. And Richard Reitz, the airport manager, is working on flyovers with the Moose Jaw Air Base. And
so that could be tied in, hopefully.
So there could be a whole lot of, there will be an enormous amount of great events going on that day, and this would just add to it. So that's great to hear.
So after the meeting, I will give you Lester Heinzman's number. He's kind of behind this along with the sculptor.
Okay.
And then hopefully everything can get coordinated.
Sounds great.
Super.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Councillor Vrova?
Thank you, Your Worship. I just wanted to let everyone know that at Souris Valley Theatre this Friday, August 18th, is Brad Johnner and the Johnner Boys. And so tickets are available at Hender's. You can also go on the Facebook page of Souris Valley Theatre. And it's on Vendini is their website to also purchase tickets. So that's this Friday, August 18th.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Vrova. And I know that'll be a great time. They're local boys who made it to the big time, so that's awesome. Councillor Yanish? Nothing this evening? Okay, Trudy, before we pass the camera, anything you'd like to pass on, words of wisdom this evening? No? Not tonight? Okay. Councillor Frank?
Just a couple. First off, King Street and Dieppe Crescent are now reopened today, so that's great news.
Awesome.
thanks to the roads team and the engineers who got that all working for us really quickly, which is fantastic. Go drive down the south lane of King Street. I did. That was the first thing I did at lunch today to make sure it was nice and smooth. So the
Thank
other
you.
thing,
That'll be fantastic. Thank
That'll
you
be
so
really
much for
nice.
bringing that up, and
Yeah.
all of our people did a great job.
yeah. The other thing is this Saturday, the 19th, the Art Gallery is holding their poker run or walk. If you're like me, you can walk it. Feel free to call the Art Gallery to find out more information or register.
Okay, thank you so much, Councillor Frank. Councillor Nibbs, nothing this evening? Okay. Councillor Moore,
Nothing this evening.
nothing this evening? Okay, City Manager,
Nothing.
would you like to impart anything? No? City Clerk?
Nothing, Your Worship.
Okay, with that, and I guess we'll have to highlight, and I know with this coming up, Councillor Hoffert, fairly quickly in the next few weeks, we'll try to get out all of the information we can on this air show, and hopefully the weather will cooperate, so.
Your Worship, thank you, and things will be finalized tomorrow night at the meeting, and
Awesome.
we will keep everyone posted, and we have Becky with tourism here working on some great
Yes.
advertising, and so things are really looking good.
Okay,
Stay
good.
tuned.
Great. Thank you. So with that, could we have a motion, please, to move into committee? Thank you. Councillor Moore, seconded. Okay, Councillor Frank, all in favor? Carried. Thank you so much, and good night.